Well, hey there. Do you want to know the recipe for money getting, or actually getting any resource that you want or need to supersize your business? Well, listen up. Today, I'm going to share the recipe with you, and I'm thinking if it makes sense, over the next 5 days, I will share in detail each of the items in the recipe so that you really understand them and can apply them in your business and in your life. So, where does this come from and why recipes? Well, ever since I was a little girl, a young girl, I was probably a preteen, maybe 11 or 12. And, you go through that junior high gangly phase. Well, you might not if you're a girl, but I got braces and glasses and was, going through all kinds of physical changes and I guess cosmetic changes, the way I looked, and transformations in junior high. And that made me feel kind of self-conscious and gangly. And I was never gangly, I'm really short, but it made me not necessarily feel so confident in that I was sure of myself. And so I started looking for things that I liked to do that made me feel confident. And one of the things that I was really good at and that I loved to do was cooking and baking. So after school, I would make carameled apples, and I got into a phase of making cookies. So every night after school, I would make a different kind of cookies to serve my family. And I learned that I liked cooking, I liked baking, I liked making things. And they started with recipes. I began reading cookbooks and recipe books. And that led me to eventually creating and having my own food manufacturing business, because I love food and I love cooking. And that, of course, increased my self-confidence along the way by using this process for money getting that can also be applied to just about any other resource that you would want to get. But it's because it follows a recipe or a process. I actually went to college and studied industrial engineering and mechanical engineering because I was so enamored with the process by which we create things in the world, by how we do things. I've always been curious and fascinated about how things work. And I asked my mom, I used to take apart clocks all the time when I was a really little kid. Every clock in the house, I would take it apart and I would just leave the parts scattered about. I didn't want to put it back together. I just wanted to take it apart and see what all the different components were. So that wasn't very, very good for timekeeping in our house, but it didn't really matter. So my love of recipes attracted me to a group that is led by a former chef, a very former chef, called, I think they just changed the name of the group, but it's Getting Clients Without Being Salesy. And Landon Porter is the one that put up a post the other day about this, and I so resonated with it. I resonated with it. I thought about it for a couple of days. I'm like, oh, I have to share that with my group, with my Supersize Your Business people, because it's just that good. What we have to realize is that success in anything can be broken down to a formula. It can be broken down to a framework or steps. And if we follow those steps, 90% of what we need to do to be successful is done. Then we just add the 10% that's uniquely us, and that's what gives us a competitive advantage and makes us succeed in whatever it is that we're trying to do. So what is this recipe for money getting, you ask? Well, it's 5 parts, 5 components, 5 ingredients. The first one is to define a problem that you can solve. The second one is to identify who needs that, who needs the solution to the problem, who's got the problem and they need your solution. The third component is to invite people that need the solution to raise their hand and say, yes, I have this problem, I need this solution. The fourth step is to qualify those people that raise their hand and see if they have the ability to take advantage of your solution to the problem. And step 5 is to make offers to those people once you qualify them. That's it, those 5 steps. I'm going to keep this short and simple today because I am going to go into each of these 5 steps over the next 5 days, because there's no way I can cover in under 10 minutes all of these in enough detail to actually make them something that you can go out and do right away. So by the end of the week, you will have the entire money-getting recipe. You can use this for more than just money. You could use this for hiring people. You could use this for getting any type of resource you want. You could use this for vetting vendors or suppliers. You can use it to do anything you need to supersize your business. That's it. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow to share how you define a problem that only you can solve, or a problem that you are uniquely qualified to solve to supersize your business. Catch you tomorrow. Bye.